Probably do it later. Alright. Welcome back to Chain Soldier, Anime Review episode number 11. We're here reviewing the second episode of season 2, which also happens to be the 15th episode of the series, Ren Shadow, covering pretty much the rest of chapter 49, pages 522, the entirety of 5051, and the first 10 pages of chapter 52. Pick up the last episode where Ren basically asks Yuji for his hand, because she likes animals and sees him as future pet, and then tells him and the commander to stay there for recovery. Like, mention, oh yeah, our countries want the peaches, stuff like that. And then they go back, and of course they get a lift from the commander of one of the air squads, one who just got promoted. I think she was commander of Squad 2, I think it was. Yeah. And of course, basically, to give him a lift back, of course. Okay, it's Kyoko. Give a ride to Tamara. Yes. Where she and her mentor get basically a chance to patrol around. And then, of course, they go back to, well, the headquarters, the dorm of Squad 7, where everybody's cleaning up, of course. Yuta, of course, is doing some cleaning around the place. We see Shushu, where she's cleaning like crazy, and she's there with Himori. Yes. Yeah. So, and this is probably also the only instance of the whole episode we get a chance to see some nudity, because the last season's show frequently had nudity. This season so far, in 2 episodes, first episode had 0 nudity. This episode was the first one that actually featured nudity. So she was like, ooh, let's basically sneak into Yuki's room. Also, the whole thing like preparing for the... I'll get to that part later. So, then she sneaks to Yuta's room, and then she sees, oh, this is black goo, and it turns out one of the goddesses breaks into his room. Yes, seriously. One of the goddesses, yes... You're like, huh? Yeah. It basically is the one known as Shioku. Yes. Voiced by Maggie Falaka. I think those were second appearance. So, she is attempting to seduce Yuta, and of course, this is just by funny coincidence. So, Tenka is there. Because of course she's there, because she likes breaking into Yuta's room. She did this frequently last season's show. And then of course, basically it's like, let's up a competition. Of course, then we have Shuka stand on top of Yuta, having her, basically her panties above his head. And, by the way, this is also, so then she proceeds to sit on his face, and challenge Yuta to like, who's gonna seduce him first? And then she proceeds to lick his neck and his chest, using her snakes to pull up his shirt. And Tucker's like, I'm in. And I'm like, you lucky bastard, she gets 2 people on you. And Shushu notices something is wrong. And then figured out, oh, Shoku basically put on her illusion. And Shushu, break the first, is like, at first Taka show up first, and then Shushu's like, and then you leave. And he goes, oh, let's reinforce the barrier. Of course, Ren basically into that. So, then we have Taka, Shushu, basically the whole group also room with Yuki because the goddesses want him. Oh boy, the goddesses want him. And if I read the manga, they have him do stuff to them that is very sexual. Because he's a guy. And a lot of the women in the show want him. Yes. That's the thing about this show. Now, in the case of the youngest member of the 7th unit, the one who's like the youngest member, now, yeah, she is the only one who isn't interested in him. Probably because she's 11. And unlike the rest of the freaking squad, where it seems like all the members have got a thing for him. Yes. Himori's got a thing for him. Shushu does. Kyoka, Tenka. Ren is shown to be, well, having an interest in him. Yes. Yeah. It's, let's just say it's a recurring gag in the series where, like, a lot of the women basically want him because of the slave ability. So, then they do some training later on. Of course, Nell does it. And then, of course, like, Amanda shows up, like, ooh, can I borrow? Like, no, we share my physical power. And, oh, by the way, Nell's way of rewarding him for doing a good job with the training is to give him a pet job. Now, I think probably for him, this probably is reasonable because she's a little girl and don't do anything sexual to him. Then Ren leaves, even though that Yuta is told, oh, you shouldn't have basically eye contact her. So Toka proceeds to nearly break Yuta's back as a punishment, give him a big bear hug. But she forgives him. At least she doesn't basically do anything, break anything else. She just breaks just, oh, this is punishment. A bear hug. Yep. And then, like, after the whole patrol thing is taken care of, and then, like, oh, let's have a joint training session, where we have the 6th unit here, along with the 5th unit. Which their leader, oh boy, she is a pervert. Oh my gosh. Yeah, where she proceeds to almost grope the other 2 commanders. Kyoka is not interested at all. In the case of Tenka, she's not interested in it either. She isn't, like, hurt or anything. And then she starts interested in Yuta. Oh boy. Yes. Another girl interested in him. Which, at this point, here are the women who have interest in him at this very point. Kyoka, Himori, and Shushu, 3 of the 4 women in this group. Tenka, Ren, obviously, and now Yumiko. Yep. Yeah. But I've seen images, basically, of what going to happen next 2 episodes. I'm very much looking forward to it. Especially as it involves Himori's mom. Oh boy. Yes. Now, I have watched these episodes. All I've seen is some images. But I have not seen these things move yet, because I'm waiting to when the dub gets them. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. I mean, as soon as the game wins, like, ooh, I can't wait for Chain Soldier. Yes, also Monica Rell's character, who is like Shushu. Excuse me. Not that one. No. Shira, I think she briefly appears in the episode, but she doesn't speak. Not really, no. Oh, in case you're curious, does she have a thing for Yuta? Surprisingly, no. She does not. Yeah, but this episode also, there's also a thing this episode where Himori, when they were sleeping, when Shushu tries to get on top of him, and Himori proceeds to sleepwalk, thinking that Shushu is basically a Shiki, and throws her around, but then she's put on watch afterwards, after Kyoka, basically. I thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, that is pretty much it to discuss this episode. So, that's it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe to notifications. Next up, Easy Going Defense by Optimistic Lord. Okay, thanks you. Bye.